I'm delighted to say Carol is with us this morning. Morning, Carol. What have you got for us today?
A real mixture, Sal. Good morning to you both. And it's going to get warmer, which I know you do like, especially through the weekend.
We do like that, yes.
Week. But before we get there, it's chilly still for the next few days along the North Sea coastline. Good morning, everybody. This morning, if you're just stepping out, it's still a chilly start to the day. But having said that, it's not as cool as it's been the last couple of days.
And I think we need some weather, don't we?
Yes, and some sunshine.
There is some sunshine in the forecast, I'm glad to say. Even today, we're going to see some. Good morning, both, and good morning to you too. If you're just stepping out, it's a chilly start, but not as cold as it was yesterday. This time yesterday, it was -4 in Altnahara. At the moment, it's 3.5. And then Salajon, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it's looking dry and sunny for most. The highest temperatures will be in the south, but it's going to be warmer than it has been, with the chance of a shower in the southwest.
A good weekend.
A good weekend, yes, but if you're crying out for rain, still no sign of it in the forecast.
Maybe not yet.
Not a good weekend.
No.
No.
For your garden.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Carol. It's a bit like the pressure on Carol when she has to follow John with the sports, isn't it?
That's easy.
Morning, Carol.
Really difficult, actually. Good morning, everybody. This morning it's mixed fortunes as to what weather you have. There is quite a bit of cloud around, but equally there is some sunshine as well, as you can see in Portsmouth this morning. So what's happening is high pressure is firmly in charge of our weather, which is why it has been so settled off late.
And people who are thinking about their gardens would probably want a bit more rain.
Yes, and there's not much of that on the horizon. We're just seeing the odd shower coming out of the thicker cloud here and there, but that's about it for now.
Carol, thank you.
Lots of sunshine, especially Friday into the weekend. And as you rightly pointed out earlier, not much rain in the forecast for farmers, gardeners and growers. Good morning, everyone. It's a mixed picture today. Some of us are starting off on a very cloudy note. Some of us are seeing a bit of sunshine, as we have here in Worcestershire.
But, Carol, we're talking about the pollen, aren't we?
We are. Have you been sniffling?
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone has, it feels like.
I know, exactly. And we're talking oak tree pollen. So if we look at it, you can see that it's moderate across parts of northwest England, which is why you're feeling it, the Midlands, Wales, and into the southwest. The pollen levels are low everywhere else.
Hi, Nina. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. It is yet another mostly dry day. Some of us have some sunshine. There's a bit of cloud around as well.
Good afternoon. High pressure is in charge. We've had lots of sunshine, but it's still feeling quite chilly. First thing this morning, blue sky and a halo around the sun. Really very beautiful. The clouds are feeding in on a northeasterly breeze. The breeze not quite as strong as it has been, but you can see that cloud being pushed further south from the northeast.
With what's in store for VE Day. Hi, Ben.
Hi there, Nina. Thank you very much. Well, it's certainly going to stay mostly dry across the UK for the next couple of days. Not entirely sunny. We've seen a fair bit of cloud around today across some northern and eastern parts. But it is the dryness that really is making headlines, because there are places, Lucas in Fife, for example, has not had any measurable rain for quite some time, since the 18th of April. Plenty of other places that haven't had any significant rainfall for more than 2 weeks now, and that is not going to change very much in the short term.
Sally, goodness me, they weren't allowed to do the weather during the war.
Oh, I know. Can you imagine a life without me? What a blessing that would have been for everyone.
Well, you know,
Peace and quiet.
Listen, we talk about a blessing. We like the sunshine, we like the warm weather, but now also news of a possible drought, really?
Well, it's been a really dry spring.
Yeah.
So thankfully, take a look at this graphic now. Hopefully I can see it because my eyes are getting worse. So we had a really wet January and February, had more than the average rainfall. There you go, you can see it there, 122%, 104%. But then March, we only got 12% of our rainfall and only 60% in April. So it is a dry spring. We've got 3 weeks of May still to go. So we might still get some rain, but it's not looking like we're going to have floods at the moment, thank goodness. So not great for farmers, great for us to enjoy, but I don't know, I do get a bit of rain anxiety.
Yeah,
do
we
you?
need it. Yeah, we need it for the garden, don't we?
I know,
Yeah.
when I see it all dry, I'm like, oh, please rain, please rain. Then I'm like, no, don't rain, don't rain. I literally can't get it right. But anyway, we had a our driest spring ever, more than 100 years ago. We'll see if we beat that. I doubt we will, but we'll see. Anyway, let's take a look at the weather now. Here's a little caption competition. Hello again. So, the caption competition. Now, I think my favourite one sent in was, Mum, when I grow up, I want to be a swan. Obviously, that didn't go down too well. Anyway, let's take a look at the weather. Hopefully, it'll be like this as we go through the week. Not so great for the farmers. It's mostly dry, but it is turning increasingly sunny for us and getting warmer as well. Even as we get to Sunday, this low pressure approaches, but it looks like here in the southeast, we'll steer clear of it as it looks at the moment. And so some pretty settled conditions, sunshine at times, variable amounts of cloud. That's really where the uncertainty is. And you can see our temperatures coming up by day and by night as well. Take care. Cheerio.
Well, location, Christian, I'm afraid, because west has been best once again for sunshine. Just look at this glorious weather watcher picture from Pembrokeshire earlier on. Temperatures out to the west and the southwest, high teens, but it was a different story yet again the further east, with a lot of cloud pushing in off the North Sea. Rather cool at times, temperatures only peaking just at around 10 or 11 degrees.
Time for a check on the weather, which will hopefully get a bit warmer. Louise is here to answer that for us.
It does get warmer, Riz. There might even be some rain around into the weekend because, let's face it, if you've got a garden allotment, you are crying out for some water at the moment. So hopefully something for everyone. We started off beautifully this morning with some lovely breaks in the clouds, some lovely sunshine. The cloud came and went a little throughout the day. Into the afternoon, we had some pretty cloudy skies in actual fact, and this is how we closed out the skyline of the city just a few hours ago.
By the way, on our website, you can see the proposed designs for the National Memorial to Queen Elizabeth. From us here, do have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
And after a pretty chilly start to this week, it has been noticeably brighter today, hasn't it? But still, for many, no sign of any rain. Oh, excuse me, Alex is here. Why has it been so dry?
Well, we're going to look into that right now, but it kind of follows the same theme that we've had for the last several months. So for much of this year, it has been pretty dry. So let's take a look at those spring stats so far. We're pointing out that meteorological summer does start on the 1st of June. So we've not got a long left to go on it. But you can see when we break it down for rainfall, the United Kingdom is seeing just 35% of its expected average rainfall. Break that down into the home countries. You can see those numbers fall for England down to 26%. So very dry indeed. We're pointing out as well that in the Republic of Ireland, we don't have the stats here, but they've actually introduced a 6-week hosepipe ban. That's not the case here at the moment. And in terms of sunshine, well, you can see those numbers. We've just come off the back of the sunniest April on record. Those records began back in 1910. And as you can see, we have seen nearly 100% of our sunshine amounts for England, 95% for the United Kingdom as a whole. And that is going to increase as we head through the coming days, because as you may have heard, the weather is staying settled. But why has it been so settled? Well, let's take a quick look, actually. Down to high pressure, which has been very dominant through much of spring, and also the jet stream, which has been meandering up towards the north, and that blocks off areas of low pressure and also helps us to tap in to that warmer air across parts of Europe. So let's take a look actually at the jet stream and air mass as we head through the next few days. And you can see that slightly warmer air over the UK, so temperatures are expected to rise as we head through towards the weekend and into next week. And you can see high pressure, but most of it, to say, very much in control. Let's take a look at the forecast in a lot more detail right now. Well, there's not going to be a great deal to spoil things as we head through the next few days, although I'm sure the farmers could really do with some rainfall. It is going to be staying largely settled, some warm sunny spells. In fact, temperatures could be back up into the mid-20s by the time we get to Monday and Tuesday next week.
Alex, you know what I'm going to ask you about.
I do.
It's the pollen. And
Yes.
is it so bad because it's so dry? Because we're all coughing and spluttering, aren't we?
Settled weather does mean pollen levels are due to rise. So that's probably why you're suffering from it. The other thing to point out as well, that with the pollen, it's worse in the mornings and also in the evenings, because in the daytime, the warm air takes the pollen up into the atmosphere, and in the evenings, it drops back down. So that's why having a glass of wine in the evening, not good in the garden.
Not good in the studio either. Alex, thank you.